Pete Hegseth's signal scandal, a crisis of competence at the Pentagon. In the ever-volatile intersection of politics, national security, and media spectacle, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has found himself at the center of a firestorm, one that calls into question not only his personal judgment, but the integrity and operational discipline of the U.S. Department of Defense itself. Hegseth, a former Fox News host and military veteran with limited high-level Defense Administration experience, was already a controversial figure when former President Donald Trump appointed him to head the Pentagon. But recent revelations have triggered a scandal with national security implications far exceeding typical political drama. According to an explosive report by the New York Times, Hegseth allegedly shared classified and highly sensitive military information, specifically related to ongoing operations in Yemen, via the encrypted messaging app Signal, not on secure government channels, but in private groups that included not only his aides, but also his wife, brother, and even a personal lawyer. What's more, this breach follows closely on the heels of a previous scandal in which a Signal group created by others involved a journalist and the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, further exposing defense operations to unauthorized individuals. This time, however, the Signal group in question was reportedly created by Hegseth himself. That detail eliminates the plausible deniability he had in the first case, where he might have argued ignorance about the presence of non-cleared individuals in the group chat. The decision to create a separate group and populate it with family members and personal contacts, none of whom possess security clearance, has drawn bipartisan condemnation and triggered serious concerns within the defense and intelligence community. A Pentagon in disarray. The repercussions inside the Pentagon have been swift and telling. On the same Friday the latest story broke, 3 senior Pentagon staffers were abruptly fired. A fourth, a chief of staff, was reassigned. While the official narrative from the White House framed these moves as standard procedure, insiders and former officials suggest otherwise. John Elliott, a former Pentagon spokesperson and longtime supporter of Hegseth, has now publicly turned on him. In an op-ed published in Politico, Elliott described total disarray within the Pentagon's leadership and questioned Hegseth's capacity to continue in the role. That someone once in Hegseth's corner is now calling for accountability signals a widening crack within the pro-Hegseth, pro-Trump faction of the defense establishment. Chuck Schumer, Senate Majority Leader, wasted no time in calling for Hegseth's resignation. "This isn't just bad judgment, it's a national security risk," Schumer tweeted. Meanwhile, other high-ranking Pentagon officials reportedly warned Hegseth multiple times that he must use his government-issued secure communications devices. The use of Signal on personal phones for classified matters is explicitly prohibited, a safeguard in place to prevent precisely the kind of risk now looming over U.S. forces operating in hostile environments like Yemen. Lives at risk. The stakes here are not just political. The leaked materials reportedly included specific details about military flight operations, information that could easily endanger American lives if intercepted by adversaries. The possibility that such operational details were circulating outside secure channels has alarmed military professionals. A retired senior Army officer told journalists off the record, "If I had done something like this, I'd be fired immediately. It's not just unprofessional, it's reckless and dangerous." The sentiment is echoed across the Pentagon, where service members are now questioning whether those in charge truly grasp the responsibilities of their posts. And internationally, the scandal threatens to erode trust among U.S. allies. Intelligence and defense sharing are built on the assumption of strict information control. With someone like Hegseth so cavalierly handling classified information, foreign governments may think twice before cooperating on sensitive matters. Deflection and denial. Despite the mounting backlash, the White House appears intent on standing by Hegseth, for now. At the annual White House Easter egg roll, Hegseth brushed off the controversy with defiant remarks. "We're changing the Defense Department, putting it back in the hands of warfighters. Anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees don't matter." Hegseth further blamed the media, accusing reporters of pushing hoaxes and smearing him based on anonymous sources. His tone mirrored that of his political patron, Donald Trump, who continues to support Hegseth and sees him as a loyal foot soldier in a broader war against what Trump refers to as the deep state. In another twist, Hegseth suggested the timing of the leaks and recent firings were part of a coordinated smear campaign orchestrated by those opposed to the Trump-aligned reshaping of the Pentagon. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt reinforced this narrative, stating on Fox News, "This is what happens when the entire Pentagon is working against you. Yet for many observers, these claims ring hollow. After all, the data trails are digital, and the warnings about improper device usage were reportedly made well before the media became involved. Whether it was malice or simply hubris, the fact remains, a sitting defense secretary knowingly used unsecured apps to circulate classified information. Echoes of the past. The scandal also revives memories of the 2016 presidential campaign and the controversy surrounding Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. Then-candidate Trump repeatedly cited Clinton's conduct as disqualifying for high office. Now, Democrats, and even many independents, see a glaring double standard. Clinton herself waded into the conversation, posting a cryptic but telling emoji of wide eyes on Twitter after the Signal chat revelations went public, a subtle reminder of the political asymmetry at play. But while Clinton faced an FBI investigation and relentless public scrutiny, Hegseth remains in office, shielded by political loyalty and White House backing. Whether that protection can hold amid escalating bipartisan criticism remains to be seen. What comes next? The coming days will be critical. Congressional Democrats are calling for hearings, and multiple committees are rumored to be exploring subpoenas. Should further evidence emerge of reckless handling, or worse, potential breaches caused by these lapses, Hegseth's position may become untenable even for his staunchest defenders. More broadly, the episode raises serious questions about the politicization of national security. In an era where loyalty often trumps expertise and partisan allegiance overrides institutional norms, the Pete Hegseth Signal scandal may come to symbolize the dangers of blurring the lines between ideology and responsibility. In a time when American credibility abroad is fragile and internal cohesion within the defense establishment is critical, even one misstep can carry profound consequences. Whether the Pentagon can afford more of these is a question now confronting not just the White House, but the nation itself.